Hello everyone and welcome to the latest episode of Sean's Movie Crusades. My name is Sean Wansacrug and I'm here to review all the latest films in theaters as well as any as you recommend, whether they be recent films or old school movies. Now before we hit today's episode, don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button so you guys stay up to date with all the latest videos on the channel. And also don't forget to follow all the media outlets that we have down below. Now today is a special episode as we are going to go over the top supporting actress performances of 2018. We are also going to be doing ones for top supporting actor, top actress, and top directors of 2018. If you want to watch those videos, head on over to the videos section of the channel, and you can catch them all on there. This particular episode, we are going to go over supporting actresses in a performances of 2018. And there's been, like I said, a lot of fantastic performances overall throughout the year, and these ones deserve to be recognized. Now, most of these, are not nominations for Golden Globes or the Oscars, and that's mainly because those particular films, for the most part, I wasn't able to catch them. So certain instances, Emma Stone, Glenn Close, and Rachel Weisz, I just have not been able to catch those films. The Favorite and I think it's called The Wife. I just haven't got to catch those, so that's why they're not on this list. So before you guys go, how are they not there? I just haven't been able to catch them yet. So this list is for everybody else that I have caught and who I really appreciated their roles. Some of them you guys might not agree with, but I just really liked their performances overall. And this is in no particular order. I'm just going to kind of go down a list. And yeah, so let's go ahead and start with the first one. And this is, I've said this character or this actress's performance numerous times on the channel, and that is Mathilde Olivier from Overlord. I think I personally have never seen this actress before. She's a French actress. This is her first American film. I think she did a great job as Chloe in the film. She plays that hard ass female character role, but still shows that side of vulnerability. As she's basically doing what she needs to do to keep her little brother alive. In her Nazi. Not protected, but Nazi invaded town. And when she finally gets help from the American soldiers, you really start to see her come out of her shell and start to become the heroine that she is. And I feel like Mathilde did a fantastic job portraying that character through Chloe, and she was easily the highlight of the film for me. We go to the next one, and this one did actually get a nomination for a Golden Globe, and I was able to actually catch this, and I actually think that she was the best part of the movie, and that is Claire Foy as Janet Armstrong in First Man. I feel like Claire Foy did a fantastic job in this portrayal of Neil Armstrong's wife, and she does an incredible job of showing just what it feels like to be on the other side of space travelers. While Neil's up in space doing his own thing, she has to sit at home and take care of the kids and basically have to live with the unknown of what is happening to her husband at that time. Yeah, she does get a little kind of voice radio box that she gets to listen to and hear the broadcast between Neil and NASA, but when things go wrong, she literally she's basically at the mercy of what's going to happen, and there's nothing she can do about it. And you can tell throughout the movie it starts to put a strain on her as she has dealt with loss of friends and family and having to just be strong throughout the entire film, because even though Neil is doing what he's doing, she has to be first and foremost a mother. And the performance that Claire Foy puts on in this is incredibly strong. It's one of the best performances of the year, and I would not be surprised if she pulls out a Oscar or a Golden Globe win for supporting actress. The next one, I feel was a really solid performance, and that goes to Deborah Messing as Detective Vic in Searching. As much as I've talked up John Cho's performance in the role, I feel like Deborah Messing does just as good of a job as Detective Vic in the role. Her character, like I said, she's a mother, and she is very protective of her child, but because of that, she is going out of her way to try and find David's daughter, Margot. And just like I said with John Cho's performance, the strain and toll that it is taking on Deborah Messing's Detective Vic's character throughout the movie is easily seen. And you can see it in the performance overall as well. And I feel like Deborah Messing does a great job at basically working opposite John Cho throughout this movie, and she's not going to get any recognition for it, so I'm going to recognize her here. So Deborah Messing as Detective Vic in Searching, great job. If you guys haven't seen the movie, even though as many times as I've told you guys to see that movie, you should definitely check it out, and check out Deborah Messing's role as Detective Vic. Next two, they're in the same movie, so I'm just going to kind of hit them back to back, and that is Lupita Nyong'o, sorry if I said that wrong, and Danai Gurira as Nakia and Okoye from Black Panther. I think both of them did a great job. Actually, no, scratch that. I'm going to change this. I'm also going to add Letitia Wright. So Letitia Wright as Shuri, as well as Lupita Nyong'o for Nakia and Danai Gurira for Okoye. All three of the women do a fantastic job in Black Panther and definitely give different elements of Chadwick Boseman's performance as Black Panther in the film. I loved all three of them. I loved how Shuri's brother-sister dynamic with T'Challa and just the great lines she has throughout the film. She's a delight in the movie, and it just made me want to see more of her. Okoye plays the awesome, badass warrior who will do anything for her kingdom, and when we finally got to see her and Black Widow team up in Avengers Infinity War, it was definitely a highlight. And of course, Nakia playing the princess / spy character and love interest of T'Challa, and then that ability of her having that struggle between joining T'Challa to do what's right and to keep doing her own thing. I think all three women do a fantastic job in the role and should definitely all be recognized. If I had to pick one over the others, I would probably go with Danai Gurira for Okoye. She was definitely the one that by the end of the film, I was like, I want more of the Okoye character. But all three women do a fantastic job overall and should all be recognized for how great their performance was in general. Next would be a surprise one for me, because I wasn't really expecting this. In her first scenes of the film, I was like, this character's not going to be that great. But then by the end of the movie, she was one of my favorite parts of the film, and that is Elizabeth Debicki, who plays Alice in Widows. Her character is rather simple in the beginning of the film. She basically is just playing the pretty wife to John Bernathal's character. Not kind of all that intelligent. She's just like the pretty wife who, basically stays at home or shops and buys pretty things, but doesn't really do anything for herself. But then once her husband is killed, she basically kind of has to figure out life on her own and basically stand up for herself and live the way she wants to live without anyone telling her what to do. And I feel like Debicki does a fantastic job of a transformation from beginning of the spectrum to her character by the end of the film, as she grows her self-confidence throughout the movie and basically becomes her own woman throughout. And the Alice character is definitely one of the highlights of the film and should definitely be recognized by Debicki's great performance. Next one would go to Zoe Saldana as Gamora from Avengers Infinity War. As small of a role she has in the film, I feel like her performance was a highlight of the movie, as well with Josh Brolin's Thanos, as her emotions towards the Thanos character is really the only one that can be carried throughout the film, because she's the only one besides Nebula who actually knows Thanos and what Thanos is capable of, and the horror that she goes throughout the film with Thanos is heightened throughout the entire film, especially the soul searching or the soul gemstone scene that I mentioned also with Josh Brolin is incredibly heartbreaking, and the levels of that Zoe Saldana goes through as Gamora is heartbreaking to watch, and further proves that she deserves to be on this list for top supporting actresses of 2018. Next one is probably my favorite of the year, or one of my favorites of the year, and she's not getting any recognition for it, and that is Lucy Boynton as Mary Austin in Bohemian Rhapsody. I feel that Lucy's performance of Mary was incredibly strong and really gave more humanity to Rami Malek's Freddie Mercury character. Freddie Mercury was incredibly flamboyant and all about the performance, but the only time we really ever got to see real shades of the real Freddie was in his scenes with Mary. And I feel like Mary and Remy both do a phenomenal job when they're on screen together. There are many scenes in the movie where I feel that Lucy knocks it out of the park as the Mary character. Most importantly, the scene where she calls out Freddie Mercury for being a homosexual. That scene is a highlight of the film, and outside of the Live 8 concert, this is the one scene that I constantly look back to as one of the best scenes in the movie. There's also a scene later in the film where Mary literally calls out Freddie for being basically a douchebag, and it's a very powerful scene done once again by Lucy Boynton, and she deserves all the recognition because even though this movie is 100% Rami Malek's film, I feel that her performance is what elevates Rami Malek's role to being one of the best of the year, and without her performance, Rami Malek's performance would not have been nearly as strong. And finally, the last one on the list, a personal favorite of mine. I also feel like she should have been nominated, but she's just not going to get the recognition for it. And that is Millicent Simmons as Regan Abbott in A Quiet Place. Her performance as Regan is it's incredible. I mean, she's deaf in real life, so she's not. I mean, she's playing basically the deaf daughter of the Abbott family, and everything like. Her performance and the levels that she has to go through is incredible throughout the film. The frustrations that she has to go through with her father because he's holding her back from basically becoming the not the parent, but becoming the responsible one because of what happens in the beginning of the film. She feels the guilt of it. She feels the blame of it. And she also thinks that she is being treated that way because of what happened at the end of the film. I'm not going to say what it is because of people may not have seen this movie. But it's a toll that carries on her character. And she wears it immensely throughout the film. And to the point where she literally has to become the hero of the film. And just watching her go through being a scared kid to basically growing up in front of us to I need to defend my family and I need to do what I can to stop this from happening so we all don't die is a great scene, and she has to sell it all through her facial expressions and everything because obviously just like everyone else in this movie, they can't speak without dying, and Millicent, I said that wrong, I'm sorry. She does an amazing job, and she deserves to be recognized for one of the best supporting actress performances of 2018. And so that's the list, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you guys feel like this was worth sharing, go ahead and hit that share button as well. But most importantly, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to follow us on all the media outlets that you see below. And yeah, and we got some more coming down the road here. We also got top actress, supporting actor performances, top actor, and best director of 2018. So if you guys want to see those, go ahead and head on over to the video section and check them out there. And until I see you guys again, good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Movie Crusaders.